Welcome back to another episode of the PokeStop Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Zach Prod, joined by my amazing co-host, Thad Wayne. Thad, how you doing today?
Doing great, Zach. How are you?
You know, I'm doing wonderful, Thad. I went to the Pittsburgh Regional Championships. I know you couldn't make it because you hate me, and you said Pokemon is lame. But I made day two. I got 107th place. Got a Destined Rivals booster box and 80 points. That will likely not ever matter because I don't think I'm chasing an invite. Unless like I do really well in like Milwaukee. I think I'm just like I'm good. I don't necessarily care. I'm not a fan of a leaderboard worlds invite system. I think it kind of sucks. I much prefer like just make the cap 700 points. Like let me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, we kind of went through this last season a little bit, like, and then it just put a lot of pressure on you to play. And I think that you not having that extra pressure of trying to make worlds,
yeah,
made your run for Pittsburgh, I feel like, a little bit more smooth.
Yeah, I think also my biggest mistake last season was I very much just pigeonholed myself in one deck. Where like, I don't know. I think there were better turbo decks for some of the tournaments I attended than what I ended up playing.
Yeah.
Which, like, it is what it is. It was like my first full season in like, I don't know, 6 years. So I was just kind of like, I'm just here for the vibes.
That's very fair.
So, but it was, Pittsburgh was a lot of fun. A lot of locals, just because like we're from like Northeast Ohio. So we're like, it's like 2 hours. Like we literally like, I think most of us still worked a full day on Friday and then we left and still made it to the convention center before they closed.
Oh yeah.
I will say this as someone from Cleveland, Ohio, people in Pittsburgh are fucking weird. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like we checked into our hotel, and like mind you, I'm not wearing any Cleveland stuff, no identifying stuff. And when the hotel lady looked at my ID and sees a Cleveland address, she looks at me dead ass in the face and goes, "Aren't you worried that you're in Pittsburgh?" And I'm just like, "Are you telling me I'm gonna get beat up because I'm from Cleveland?" Like, and I'm also like, if you've seen me, I'm a big guy. I am not a small person. I am in most rooms I walk in, I am the biggest person in the room. And I'm like, for you to be like, I'm gonna get beat up, I'm like, I don't know if you know how this goes.
Weird thing to say.
Yeah, also just a really weird thing to say to someone who is like giving you money, who is like paying to be here. And I'm like, that's so weird. Like, I feel like if like a tourist came to your city that is notoriously not a very touristy city, you would be like, oh, thanks for coming to Pittsburgh. What brings you to Pittsburgh? Like, maybe you'll like try and hype up the city, but instead you're like, hey, don't get beat up.
Yeah,
nerd.
like, aren't
like
you
that
worried?
was really weird. Yeah, like that was just so weird. I don't know. It was so odd. And that city has so many one-way streets. Holy shit. Like every street is a one-way. And I'm just like, can we design this with intelligence at any point?
Ooh,
like it was just so
Pittsburgh.
Like half the time I'd make like a right turn and it's like you can't go that way. Like this is a one-way and there's like, I'm like, why? There are 2 lanes on this street. Make
like, but
one north, one south, man. Like let's just use our intelligence here.
Ooh, but it's Pittsburgh,
They're
remember?
also obsessed with the color combination of yellow and black. Holy crap. Like I knew like all their sports teams were like the yellow and black thing or like black and gold or whatever. But I'm just like, your entire city relies on this color swatch. And I'm like, this is really weird, man. Like this is odd. Like they had like there's like a bridge that like goes straight through downtown. And like it was painted yellow. And like I feel like gets painted yellow like once a year. Like it was like you could not tell like this is a city that gets snow. And this bridge had just the most vibrant yellow paint. I'm like, that's crazy.
They love it.
They're really obsessed with it. But overall, I had a good time in Pittsburgh. Made day 2 with Raging Bolt. I think we said it on the last podcast, but like I was like, if I don't play Guardies, I win, and that is pretty much what happened. I went 9-3-2. My 3 losses were to a Jelly Guardy, who I believe went top 64. It was Jackson Ford. I think he got like top 64, I believe. Who just like, you just get worked. Like the Jelly Guardy, if they set up Jelly and he just had it, like he had the natty, like go second both games, started Frillish both games. And like one time he had the secret box and I was just like, we're not winning this game. Cool. And that was game 2. So I was just like, okay, we're just going to play this out then. Because like scooping now makes no sense. But yeah, he just had like the turn 1 item lock both times. And like,
and that just never feels good.
Yeah, you have to have like, if they get the turn 1 item lock and you did not put a Raging Bolt with an energy on the active, you're just cooked. Like,
yeah,
it's just GG from there. And that's exactly what happened. And then, so at that point I was 0-1-1 and I was feeling down. And then I won 5 straight. I was like, this feels good. Like Bolt just started being Bolt again. And it was like, okay, yeah, this is why I play in the deck. Gotcha. Which there were a couple people at our locals and like our area who like had a similar run where like just a really rough opening rounds and then just went on the run.
I mean, I feel like that's like the thing at regionals though, is like you just have to make it out of like your bottom rounds.
Yeah. I think if you make it to like round 5 and you're still in contention, I think you're fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm also, so like this was my first major event, playing with the new 50 minutes best of 1, or 50 minutes plus 1 turn rules. Also, I didn't know this, but like every regional this year is going to be 8 rounds, and then you play the first round of phase 2 on day 1. So instead of 9 rounds into 5 rounds, it's 8 rounds into 6 rounds. I really hate that. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, it seems like it
seems really weird. Like, listen, just either do 8 and 6 or do 9 and 5. Like, because to me, like, we kind of take the wind out of a lot of people's sails. Because, like, if you're like 5-2-1, you make it into like phase 2, and then you lose your first game. You're now 5-3-1, and it just feels bad.
Yeah, you're now definitely not making top cut, but you're technically in day 2.
And also, like, when there's that many people, like, there were 589, I think. Like, there were almost 500 people in day 2. So, like, half of day 2 was not getting 60 points. Which just
never feels good.
Insane. Yeah, like, I was like, instead of, like, doing the math, like, all right, 1 win, I get, like, 256. 2 wins, I get 128. I was like, oh, I probably have to go, like, 4-2-5, like, 4-1-1, something like that.
Yeah, you need to go on a nutty run.
Yeah, for sure. I will say this: I am never offering a GA again.
Nor should you.
Every time I have offered a GA and it has not gone my way, I have honored it because I'm not a piece of shit. I offered 1 GA this tournament, my round 1, on board state, and at the end of turn 1, it was my turn. He could not win the game, and I had game on board. And he did not honor the GA, which I was like, cool. Sounds great. Which is really annoying. So yeah, I'm just like, and I was talking to some people in Pittsburgh, and they were like, yeah, I don't even offer it anymore. I'm like, look, if we tie, we tie. Like, it is what it is.
Like, here's the thing. If you're not willing to accept it just based on prices, I'm not doing it. I just don't care. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you about your board state.
Yeah, and it was like Bolt versus, I want to say Eevee Box. It was another Noctowl deck. So I was like, okay, like, this is a fairly straightforward matchup. Like, either you have it or you don't. And like, when I had it, he was just like saying like, boss wouldn't gust. Like, he was just like pretending boss's orders doesn't read switch your opponent's active Pokemon with one of their bench Pokemon. Like, we're just doing that. And I'm just like, cool, man.
But listen.
Yeah, Zach. And then like a judge came over because I'm assuming like the 10 minutes had come up and they were like, we got to make a call here. And then he just like grabs the pen and circles tie. And I'm like, okay.
Okay, bud.
Yeah. And then I got slow played in day 2 by a Joltik box, which was really frustrating. Because like Bolt versus Joltik box, I could play 10 games in 50 minutes, and we couldn't do 2.5. Because like game 1 I won, game 2 I scooped like turn 2 because I was like, all right, you got 2 prizes, I can't kill, I can't slither wing, knock out the hands. Let's go to game 3. And then I mean, I'm just saying this guy was really methodical. You know, he needed to know what was in my discard every time. Every 30 seconds, I needed to know what's in the discard. I'm like, you know, man, it's still that one Sada and the Prime Catcher. It's still those 2 cards, brother. They did not leave. But it is what it is. Yeah, it was really annoying. I think honestly, I'm gonna be more proactive. I think, going forward at like regionals of like being more of a dick about time.
I mean,
like,
as you should though.
Yeah, and like I was like, look, I'm in day 2. I'm happy I'm here. But it just sucked because like I would have won that game. And that would have put me at I think 8-1. So like I could have, if both my ties that should have been wins were wins, I think I would have been in like top 16, top 32. So like we're having a drastically different conversation than like feeling good about a regional versus being like, yeah, I have money in my pocket from this regional. So yeah, it went really good. But you know, I mean, honestly, it is what it is. There were definitely things I could have done better in the tournament on my own side. So like, I'm not trying to, I don't want to like scapegoat it and be like, I hate when people do that. It just feels like Monday morning quarterbacking and being like, yeah, we lost because of the refs. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Those like 3 picks you threw probably might have, you know, been the reason your team lost the game.
Could have contributed a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I mean, I get what you're saying, and I think that you know, regionals are just getting bigger and bigger. Day 2s are just going to be kind of easier and easier to be making.
Yeah.
But with like less and less chance of getting the top cut.
Yeah, and like I get it. We want to make it so like if you make day 2 and win all your phase 2 rounds, you get into top cut. I get that. I understand that's what we're doing, but I just don't think this is the way to do it.
No.
And I don't know what the right way to do it is. I don't know the answer to the question. I just know this ain't the answer.
That's fair.
You know.
I mean, but in order to talk about Pittsburgh, though, we need to talk about one big major thing, and that was the outcome of it, which is Zoroark going completely undefeated with like 50-some match points.
50 match points, which I believe is the most ever in a single tournament.
Which is crazy.
Utterly insane. Just absolutely bonkers.
Absolutely honestly, good meta call, though.
I was going to say meta call of the century. Like, that was a huge meta call. And I remember, I think it was Rahul. After when he tweeted out that he like made top 8, and he literally said like Liam's gonna smoke me, and it's kind of what he did. I mean, it's insane. This guy went 16-0-2. It's actually his second regional win. I didn't know he had 2 here. I didn't know he already had one. He won Orlando regionals back in April of 24. Back with Pidgeot Charizard back in its like. Because that was like right around the time it came out, right? Or shortly after, because didn't it come out like EUIC, which would have been like February
of 24?
Yeah.
No, because Charizard came out in 23.
Swift. Well, like that deck, not like that specific.
That archetype. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely probably around a UIC is when that archetype became really popular.
Okay.
It wasn't good up until then, for sure.
Yeah. So I actually just pulled up Liam's matchups from that tournament.
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now.
The fact that he didn't lose a round is actually crazy. I think it's actually crazy. Also, he didn't see a Bolt, because I don't think you're favored in a Bolt. I don't think that list beats Bolt, and I think you just accept that, and you're just like, okay. I just don't think the best players will be playing Bolt, which is generally correct. And I'm just going to live off that. But he did play 2 Watchtower, which could be really tough for Bolt and the Maractus and the Toad Scroll. So like they have ways to make your life very awkward. But you also have ways to make their life really awkward because they're weak to fighting and grass, which are 2 cards you play a lot of. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so it's just like, it's definitely a matchup. You just have to be like very careful with how you play it. And like, if
I mean, Teal Mask goes really hard. You just can't put energy in this card.
goes really hard. Yeah. Like that's, you can't like, you're probably not squawking. Like you're probably just like, okay, I just got to have it. And if I don't, it's kind of cooked. He played 8 Gardevoirs.
Yeah, all the Guardy jellies that I see in here, and I'm like, holy cow! There's just what 2, 4, 6.
He
Guardy
technically
jellies.
Let's see. 6, yeah, 6 Guardy jellies, 2 regular Guardies. I didn't count one of them. He did pair into a Guardy in round 13. But I believe I believe it was a double ID.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine he ties to that and Gholdengo, which makes total sense. Like if you can guarantee the top cut, you do that. Like just get in there. I think he also knew he could double ID into top 8, not just into the asymmetrical cut. Which I 100% agree with.
Yeah.
I think that is where you want to be. But yeah, I mean honestly, this deck was insane. And the perfect call if you a perfect deck if you want to play Guardies. And he kind of had like the opposite mentality I did, where I was like, I win if I don't play Guardy, and he's like, I win if I do play Guardy.
Yeah.
Yeah, really crazy. Really crazy. In top 8, we had 4 Guardies, 3 Guardy Jellies, and Cal Connor playing a straight Guardy list. No Bolts, which was a little surprising to me. But with as many Guardy Jelly as there was in like the top 32, I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, I mean,
the top
bowl was 18th. Yeah.
Yeah. Which actually my list was, I believe, 1 card off this. I believe the only difference we had, it was something really small, I remember. I'm trying to remember what it was really quick. Oh, he played 2 Crispin. I only played 1 Crispin. So I just cut the Crispin for an Ultra Ball, which I think is still correct. I think it's just way too important in that deck to like hit your turn 1 Fan Rotom.
Yeah.
And I never lost a game because I prized Crispin. So like I was also like totally fine with that. We should also talk about what happened in top 4. For those who did not watch the broadcast, Aban Ahmed, who ended up getting second, he played Cal Connor in top 4. And I know they're friends and like they had like tested a bit together. And I think they're both from the same area also. I think. I could be wrong on that.
Possibly.
Yeah. But at the end of when Aban won, he like smacked the table, and the air from his hand smacking the table pushed one of his monkey dories onto Cal's side of the match area. And then Cal just did the very casual grab 2 cards, scoop them all up. And accidentally grabbed one of Aban's monkey dories, which they found out in finals. They actually had to stop they stopped the match and like had to count Aban's deck, and we're like, brother, we're at 59. So for those who don't know what the penalty is, it is a match. It's a game loss. So he would have lost game 1, and then the deck has to match the list. So he would have had to have gotten another monkey dory, which I'm sure between all the people he knew who were in that room, there's a monkey dory somewhere.
Oh,
I would be hard pressed to see a vendor there who didn't have a monkey dory for sale. But Aban, I believe he just decided just to scoop, because it's also like, the deck was built to beat you, and you're fine with the deck doing that. Because also, like, from a Bond's perspective, it's like, okay, I already have my World's Invite. There's like a 90% chance I don't win this. Let me just go home with my, like, what is it, $5,000 for second?
7,500.
7,500. All right. So he made $17,000 in the last 8 days at this point. So
yeah,
not a bad week and a half. That's all I'm saying. But I know there was like a lot of like people on Twitter being like, he did it on purpose. And I think that's also just like, as a player base, we need to not do that. I think that's kind of crazy to, like, regardless of how you feel about, player X or player Y, like, I think we should always give people the benefit of the doubt, unless there's like clearly, like, it needs to be really clear in my opinion, before we start throwing out like those accusations, because those are bannable accusations.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you levy that unless like you can demonstrate like malintent,
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah,
if anyone's out there thinking that, that was intentional, I think you should reconsider creating drama for no reason.
Yeah, and it was, I was driving home from Pittsburgh when that happened, and I was like, did he just scoop finals? And then we were like, he scooped finals, which, like, I also would have done, to be perfectly honest with you. Like,
yeah, I would have been pretty full tilt right at that moment, and I'd have been like,
you got the invite. Like, he's got the invite and $17,000 in his pocket. Like,
I understand people being like, okay, yeah, play it out for the money. Like, you're leaving $2,500 laying on the table, and it's like,
I'm good.
Am I though?
Yeah, I mean, listen, what's 2,500 when you have 8 times that in your pocket? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, that's $2,000, but like, it's $2,000, and I already have $17,000 from playing a card.
It's $2,000, but like, is it worth me suffering through this and just being tilted on stream for the next hour, or do I just say, you know what, I've had enough. I'll save my mental space, because if I lose after I play this out, I'm gonna be even more tilted that I stayed and just didn't catch my flight or didn't just get out of the venue. I'm sure at that point, a Bond was probably just like, all right, I need some fresh air. Like, I need to like not be in this environment for the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, that I 100% agree with. Yeah, absolutely. So I honestly, I totally understand his decision to scoop. Yeah, like, it makes total sense for me. Like, I would probably have done the same if I'm in his scenario.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, really cool tournament though. The logistics of the tournament, I will say, were very bad. There was one door that everyone had to go in on Saturday, so they actually ended up delaying round 1 by 45 minutes. It was supposed to start at 8:30. We didn't start till like a little after 9:15, which was super fun. Big fan.
Yeah, I heard that getting into the venue was kind of a nightmare. So
it was pretty bad. Like, we got in our parking garage, which was next to the venue, like attached to the building. We get out of our car, we go down the elevator, and there's a line, probably, a tenth of a mile from the door to our parking garage. Through the parking garage to the elevator, it's probably like 500 feet from the door. So, like,
yeah, I mean,
that was fun.
Pittsburgh 23 was a lot different. I mean, I didn't stay in Pittsburgh at all. I just drove. And I got there probably around like 6:50. And the venue was already open. So like, I just walked right in, got myself settled, hung out with my buddy, just like chatted about the event.
Sure.
And then like the hall opened at like, 7:45 or 8 o'clock, whatever time they open up. And then round 1 started promptly. So like, for me, Pittsburgh 23 was way different than from what I heard Pittsburgh this year was. So I mean, we'll see. Sounds like we're probably going back to Baltimore next year. So
I thought Baltimore was pretty good from when I was there. I don't remember a real crazy line. I don't think. I don't know. I just think it could have been. I don't know. And like, I don't think this was a gaming gen problem. Like,
No.
I think this was more on the venue itself, not being prepared for what they were walking into. And I don't know. And I'm like, I'd be hard pressed not to see like gaming gen telling them, here's what we're expecting. Like, you're going to get all these people, most like 95% of these people are coming at this point. So like,
Yeah.
we got to be moving people through. And that just really wasn't happening.
Gotta pack them in.
Literally. Yeah. So that was weird. And they would like let you in like sections. Like they let like 100 people go up. Then we got to wait for the 100 people to get through. Then we send another 100 up. So it just created like such a cluster.
Don't love that for you guys.
It was not fun. Yeah, like you really felt like cattle. Like you felt like you were getting herded through, and it was just really annoying. But one last thing on the tournament I want to talk about was kind of like the breakdown of the meta. We had Poltnor in first with 14.8%, Dango at 12.5%, regular Guardy at 11.8%, Bolt at 9.7%. I call it Django, the Joltik Gholdengo box. 6.3, regular Joltik box at 4.5, Charizard Pidgeot 4.09, Terrabox 3.5. I thought that would be higher. Actually, I thought Terrabox would be higher. I thought Bolt would be higher. I thought Poltnor would be lower. Personally, I felt like that deck was cope. Honestly, like that deck, I don't think is as good as people thought it was. I don't know. Maybe it's like my own like recency bias, but like I just don't like my win rate against like Pulse was really good going into the tournament, and it kind of stayed the same through the tournament. I think I went 4-1 against Pulse. And the only one I lost was I literally just double bricked, and he didn't. Like I didn't see Fan Rotom the entire set, so it's like, what am I gonna do with that? Kind of thing.
Functionally nothing.
Yeah. So like, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, like, it felt fine for me at least. Like I was just like, okay, this is fine. You know. Were there anything in the meta you thought was kind of weird, Thad?
No, I mean I was looking at it and it felt normal, right? Like leading into this, like we didn't really have like we were just basically vibing off of online events and
yeah, we didn't have much. We only had like the Worlds information, and I feel like Worlds is always such an anomaly just because like the player base is so much better. Like
it's a smaller tournament, player base is a little bit more, you know, they're definitely just everyone there is talented, you know.
Yeah.
Like you don't just get a Worlds invite because you're like super mediocre.
Yeah, like you have to at some point have success. At the very least at one tournament to get a Worlds invite. And like, you know, I would say the average regional attender and competitor does not have that. And like probably doesn't have any day twos on their record. Probably is newer to the game. If we're being honest.
Yeah.
You know, so like they're more getting into the game, whereas I feel like most Worlds competitors have either been in the game for a minute or, you know, something like that. So I don't like using Worlds data as much as far as like meta percentages. I like doing it for like matchups because at that point, like I think the talent is fairly comparable. So it's like, okay, random player A versus random player B at Worlds are going to be pretty close in skill level versus player A, player B at a regional, where like you might get like, you know, the odds are you're going to get like someone's their first regional. And I'm like, I'm just going to be honest here. I think I'm way better than you. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Feel free to roast me in the comments for that, but It is what it is. I also thought,
Yeah.
let me know if you agree or disagree with this. I thought two decks that were super underrated going into this tournament were Terrabox and then the, as someone in our locals calls it, the hetero pult, the straight pult, the just straight up slower Dragapult.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a strong opinion on those. I'm looking at it now, and like straight pult just does not have like I'm trying to like give an idea for the matchups. I mean, you just fold a Guardy.
Yeah, it's definitely a terrible matchup against Gardevoir. You beat Poltnor, you beat Bolt. Generally, you slam Dengo.
I mean, you fold to Terrabox. Absolutely fold. Holy crap.
Yeah. The Terrabox record was 5-10. Gardevoir in general is just not good for you. Terrabox is not good for you. But then once you get through that, it gets really favorable really fast. Like you,
Cynthia's Garchomp's not good for you.
Oh, we're cooked then if we're not prepared for the Cynthia's. I mean, you got to test the Cynthia's Garchomp.
Yeah, I mean, going 0-2-1 against Cynthia's Garchomp is definitely telling. You know?
I mean, I think they went 2-0 against Slowking, though. You know, I think that is something we need to give the flowers. Undefeated against the Slowking deck. You know who did
Honestly,
not go 2-0 against Slowking decks? Me.
Incredible.
So, also, all I'm going to say, undefeated against Venomoth Frostlass.
I'm not sure if that's something you really want to hang your hat on.
What more do you need to know? The powerhouse of the Venomoth Frostlass. With the one guy who played it, who went 0-5-1 drop. Shout out that guy. You're a legend.
Yeah, I mean, there's just like, I don't know, there's a lot to say about straight Dragapult, but like its matchups for how difficult, not that it's super difficult, but just how like frustrating the deck can be to pilot. Like, is it worth all these 50-50s?
That's
probably
fair.
not.
Yeah, and I think it's more just like you're trying to punish people for like not being prepared how to play the matchup. Because I think most people just like assumed if you're playing Pult, you're playing Poltnor. So it's like, and I think for most people, this like even for me, someone who was like very much grinding very hard for this tournament. Like I think this is probably the most live I've ever played in a 2-week span. And like I hate live. I literally despise the client. I think it's so bad. But yeah, like I played so much live, and even me, I was just like, straight Pult? Are we trying to lose?
Yeah, it just wasn't a good call.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. But moving on from the Pittsburgh Regional Championships, we are technically in a new format now, Thad. So on Saturday, this past Saturday, we both went to the Full Grip Games Mega Evolutions release tournament, excuse me. They do, Saturday is a standard $3,000 tournament. And then Sunday is a Gym Leader Challenge, $3,000 tournament. And I remember both of us going into this tournament had no idea what to play. And then I saw, shout out Christian Fontenot. He posted I believe he did it on his stream, where he just like kind of went over like lists he's kind of playing with more or less. And on like Friday, I wasn't working anyway, so I just like jumped in live, started playing the deck, and I was just slamming people. And like I think I went from like bottom of Great Ball to Arceus in like 6 hours, which is like with me getting raging out on live, being so bad at everything live does, and still just like literally bodying people. I think I lost like one game to like an Abra. Like the Alakazam deck, which is like, okay, cool. Congrats. Like, you beat the Turbo decks and lose to anything playing the card named Iono. was like, all right, man. And then I texted you at like 10 p.m. I was like, yo, I got the sauce. And I sent like a Gholdengo gif or something, or like make it rain or something. And then I talked you into it for probably 10 minutes. And then you were on the propaganda train. I got I think it was like 14th out of 120 something like that. But how did you do,
121, 123.
Yeah, something like that. So how did you do at the Full Grip Games $3,000 tournament?
So I accidentally went really hard. Fucked around and finished top 4.
Man, we're just out here claiming the W's. It was actually really crazy because the last round, because it was really weird because they were really close to 8 rounds, but it ended up being only 7. So there were like a ton of IDs, and like people just being like, I'll flip a coin to see if I get into top cut. And there was like, I think there were like 12 5-1-1s, and only like 3 of them made top cut.
Yeah,
like it was.
There's
actually
one.
Crazy.
Yeah, there's 1-6-1, so no one went completely undefeated. There was 1-6-1, 2 5-0-2s. So yeah, then there were how many spots left? 5 spots left for 5-1-1s with 12 5-1-1s, I think. The nice thing is my loss was early in Swiss, and it was to one of the 2 people who went 5-0-2. So either way, like I felt fine because my resistance was always going to be really good based off of the fact that my only loss was to, and like if I can say, like I was telling myself the whole time, like if I can just save my tie for like the last round of Swiss, and I'm just ID, I'm chilling. Because like if I ID into somebody else with high resistance, and we both take the ID, we both know we're going to make it in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my opponent did not have a really high resistance. They had to play it out. And we naturally came to a tie. I really wanted to win that matchup. Like it was tough because like I was learning the matchup as I'm playing it, and I'm like,
yeah, because they were on, what was it, like the Zoroark box, but like they
Zoroark,
are playing Darmanitan.
Yeah, Zoroark, but with Darmanitan, and I'm like, all right.
I'm like,
I forgot about Darmanitan's first attack.
Yeah, but what's the first attack?
The backdraft, where it does 30 times each damage in the 30 times the energy in the discard.
For
so like
you
playing
or for
against
the opponent?
For your opponent.
I forgot about that. I was just thinking about like the 90-90 where they like Pokedango.
No, the 90-90 was never relevant.
Okay. It is because they also play like the Toad Scroll, right? So like they stop the SCRs from happening. So you look at that.
So point, like luckily the 2 games we played, he prized one of the 2 pieces of Toad School, so he never got it set up.
Perfect.
He never prioritized it, which I'm like, fine. I mean, good, because I didn't have to target it down, which was nice. Because just taking that one prize. I mean, the nice thing is you're always like, even if you're trading, you're going into that, you're kind of just hoping that they don't have a respond KO, which they normally don't.
Yeah. Because they just like don't hit hard enough normally.
No, normally they're not hitting hard enough. Normally they're just trying to hit for weakness, which, I mean, that deck has 2 very good relevant weaknesses, which is darkness and fire right now.
Yeah.
So game 1, I just ran away with it. I just ran them off the board. It was really fast. I was just like, it happened so quick.
Yeah.
Game 2, we both had super slow starts. Neither one of us got drawing until like turn 3. He was at like the bottom of his deck by the end of the game. I was just trying to like move around and like put energy back in deck or back in hand so that backdraft wasn't a viable play. Because after he took the first knockout with Darmanitan, I was like, oh, he like built it up, and I looked at it and I'm like, is he gonna 90 spread me? And I was like, wait, what does the first attack do? Because there's only 2 energy on it and he's about to attack. And then I read it and I was like, oh shit.
They only need 4 energy because they're swinging for weakness, so it's 60 times the amount of energy in your discard. So you only need like 4. or 5.
Yeah. Yeah, they need 5. And I'm like,
And you
I'm
just killed the
discarding.
Zoroark. So you just got rid of 6.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh shit. So
Yeah.
game 2 he won, but by the time the game was over, we only had like 4 minutes left in round.
Yeah.
And like I said, it simply just came down to the fact that neither one of us were taking knockouts early.
Yeah.
I just kept trying to target down and like Darmanitans.
Yeah.
And it just like it just was a little slow.
Yeah.
Game if we would have played out game 3, I had absolutely nuts, and he did not have more than one Darumaka down.
Okay. So at least like the tie didn't affect that much, because like you probably win that.
Yeah, I mean, I had Vitality Band Soul Rock, and I was just knocking out Darumakas.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he's never just gonna swing in with his Zoroark. You know what I mean? Like that just it's so bad. You swing in with his Zoroark, you just get immediately punished. You put me on 2/2/2 pricing.
Yeah.
Because I'm just gonna gust around your Darumakas at that point, and I just am not gonna care if I can get the first 2 prizes.
Yeah. Yeah, at that point it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go
I make
you and be fine.
Yeah. I make them play the 7 prize game while I'm playing a 6 prize game.
Yeah, for sure. I actually ended up playing in a Limitless tournament on Sunday, and I did play the Zoroark box with I think I changed like 2 cards off the list, but nothing for that matchup in particular. It's more just like I'm trying to find like a way that you can beat Jellicent Guardy, because that just feels like your only bad matchup right now in this format right now, which I think will be very heavily played for Milwaukee. But yeah, that
which
matchup,
is what I played.
Yeah, you did hit that in top 4, and it did happen to be a senior with a longer Limitless page than the entire state of Ohio. So
yeah,
that was pretty cool. Yeah, like after we're like driving back, and I'm just like looking at this kid's page, and I'm just like, I haven't been to this many tournaments. Like it was crazy.
And he's just casually. I mean, I got him down to 1 prize both games. It just came down to me just being a turn behind, just because he was able to item lock and buy time.
For sure. And they just make it so awkward. And we just had we literally went into the tournament being like, you lose to Jelly Guardian, that's it. And I think between the 2 of us, we lost 2 games to not Jelly Guardy.
Yeah.
And my loss was Mirror. And they just like game 3, like it went exactly how you expect. I go first game 1, they go first. I go second game 1, they go second game 2. That player wins the game. And then game 3, they had the Natty Trolley and Boss, and they started Soul Rock. So like it was so bad. Yeah, so they just like didn't even play any cards. Like they bossed and then drew, which I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Feels bad.
Yeah, which I was just like, all right, I'm probably losing this. It's been fun. It's been a good run.
Yeah, that's what happened when I played. I played the Mirror round 2, I think. And he was it was not an exact 60 mirror like yours was.
Yeah. Ours was an exact 60 mirror. Like we both had the exact same thought process.
Yeah, I mean it was the dude I played, I think, had the PPP, the Premium Power Pro, played a Darkness Energy and a Monkey Dory.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like it kind of clogged up his hand in a couple games, and he also had horrible pricing. He priced both of his Soul Rock in the second game.
Mm-hmm.
But it really wouldn't have mattered. My second game, I mean, he started Lone Gimme with like a Monkey Active.
Sure.
Same thing. I had Natty Boss plus Cart in hand, or Trolley, and I'm like,
yeah, it's so good. Oh my god, the Trolley's amazing.
I'm like, all right, dude, this is not going to be a long game.
Yeah, literally, it's just so rough for them. Yeah, honestly, just like the Zoroark matchup feels really weird, because I played in a Limitless tournament, and I hit a Zoroark. I think I was like 5-0 or something. I don't remember my exact record, but like we were both like in a good position. Like it wasn't early in a tournament where you can kind of like play weird stuff. It was like round 4, round 5, and we were both like XO at that point. And it actually we ended up tying, because it just takes so long. Like it was just so grindy. And I also prized, I I think it was both Lunatones. It was both of either Soul Rock or Lunatone, and I didn't find it till like mid game. And he had like the turn 2 Toad Scroll as well, so it just made things really awkward when like I don't have the draw, and then I have to find very specific combos to knock out this Toad Scroll, and then try and like just spam SER, get everything back in my hand. So
Yeah,
it's very awkward.
Yeah, it's a weird matchup, but overall, like the tournament run was great. The deck ran phenomenally. I mean, my first like 3 rounds, I played kind of a bunch of jank,
Which happens, honestly.
which happens at big tournaments. You're just your first couple are probably just going to be against some, I don't know, Frostlass Venomoth deck or some random shit like that. But the deck ran great. I think if I was going to Milwaukee, this would definitely be my play.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident I'm playing Dango. Now I think the question's less what am I playing and what ace spec am I playing.
Yeah, and like I think the only thing that matters is like what ace spec is gonna give me better odds in the Jelly Guardy.
Yeah, I think it is still. I think it might still be the trolley, but
I think so. Just because if you can, as long as you can get your board set up early, that's kind of.
Yeah, you do it before they item lock, and then you're like, okay, cool. I have my draw engine on board already, so it's like.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we talked about a couple. We were talking about a couple techs to like help slow down the Jelly Guardy matchup. I mean, sure, if they can. I think them with like starting Frillish, sure, you're fine with that item lock because it's an 80 HP doofus that you can just knock out really easily, and they have no real easy counter for.
I agree.
So I think that there's maybe ways to slow it down with the deck, but overall, that's like just gonna be like, who really wants to play Jelly Guardy right now? Because then now Marnie's Grimmsnarl is actually a really good play. Like, just being able to like not have to play research and just be able to maintain all your resources, which like that deck just wants to do.
Yeah.
Like having Lily instead of research makes that deck that much more powerful and then that much better. Because like then now we're just in a triangle format where it's like, all right, Dango beats Grimmsnarl beats Guardy beats Dango.
Yeah.
And like what part of the triangle do you think you're gonna see the least?
Yeah, I think that's kind of where we're at. And like we were talking with one of our locals who is like Mr. Grimmsnarl. And he did day 2, Pittsburgh with Grim, and I remember like our entire local scene was like, I don't know if you're gonna do well with that, man. Maybe like don't play that. And he ended up going like having like an absolutely insane run in day 1. He ended up in top like 110th, 113th, something like that. But he ended up going on like an insane run. He was 6-0 going into round 7. Which was honestly really insane and really, really, really cool for him. I mean, honestly, really cool for anybody to like, basically know you're at least like top 256 before phase 1, like halfway through the tournament. You're just like, okay, cool. I'm probably fine. I think that just gives you like so much like confidence, just like honestly, just starting to let it fly and just being like, I'm not worrying about winning the game here, so we can just start doing some really weird stuff.
Yeah. And like well, the matchup isn't free for Dango. It's very favorable.
It is very favorable. Yeah, and even he was like, I don't know how I win this. Like you kind of have to brick. Or like me just get lucky on like some Ionos.
Yeah, because you just like you keep either going after monkeys or Frostlasses. I don't even know which one's right.
Probably the Frostlass because they can't. Because you also play picnic baskets, so you can like if you can take away their ability to place counters and then get rid of the counters, there's nothing to move.
Yeah, because then if they go into a Grimmsnarl, then it's just like, oh, knockout. Here's an easy 3. Here's an easy 7 energy.
All day.
Goodbye.
Because they don't really item lock either. So like your superiors are kind of always there.
Yeah, I think maybe the list adapts and plays like a 1/1 Toad Scroll line to try to help shore up that matchup. But then your bench space just gets so
They're
tight.
so tight. I would almost think a Budu would be better in the early game, and just like maybe you slow down, like, because then you can't get like the turn 2 gong, can't vessel, you know what I mean? Like you try and slow that down, and so like they'll have their board and they're gonna do their drawing, but then hopefully it buys you enough to where they can't like draw everything.
Sure, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is 100% like.
I mean,
I'm
Budu
really
just
cool
has
with
30 HP, and you can just knock it out with Soul Rock. So
yeah, but Soul Rock knocks out anything they start. They don't have a starter
yeah.
not named Monkey Dory that you can't one shot with a Soul Rock. And also, if I'm
So-
killing a Budu, I'm not killing I'm not killing a Snow Run. I'm not killing an Impidimp.
Yeah. It is winnable on their end. I think they just kind of have to play for like a TM Devo play.
Probably.
But then like you just kind of play around that with the picnic basket. So
Yeah, because we're playing a Picnic Basket and 2 Turos, which I think are both correct.
yeah, it just kind of makes that
Grim
matchup.
I do think the Grim numbers will go up for sure.
Grim numbers are going to go up. Guardy Jelly numbers are going to go up. I actually don't know if Dango's going to go up all that much. I think a lot of people are still very much in the camp that Dragapult Dusknoir is going to be a good play because Psyduck is just honestly hard to find. But then
Just
also,
hard to source.
but then also, if you do find it, they're expensive for just a 70 HP basic promo card.
Yeah, it's kind of
And
they did that.
a lot of decks just don't have space.
A lot of decks that want to play Psyduck have to cut something else that's better.
Yeah, like do you play Psyduck or Shaman? Do you lose to
Literally.
Terrabox or do you lose to Dusknoir? What do you want to lose to?
Yeah, honestly, it's just so awkward.
Because then, like, if you start the one, like, if your opening hand is like a Psyduck and then you're playing against Terrabox and you're like, oh, cool. Now I have to get Shaman and Psyduck down. And now my bench, like, now my board is so weak because I just have all these, like, random support Pokemon.
Yeah, 100%.
So I don't know. I'm not in love with Grimmsnarl. I think it's good. I think it's going to see an uptick, but like a deck like that, like again, I still think Dragapult Dusknoir is a good play for Milwaukee. I think Dragapult Dusknoir is so good. I just don't think that we saw that meta representation at full grip just because I think a lot of people were excited about new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
With honestly the biggest exception being that the winner of the full grip event was an EV box, which is nuts.
Yeah, that was not something I expected. Yeah, but the Psyduck promo is currently $12 at its cheapest, which is kind of crazy. But you know, it is what it is. I think it will go down as Milwaukee gets closer, and hopefully people who need it can just like find the blister at like a Target.
Yeah.
One would hope.
One would hope, but one does doubt.
Yeah. But speaking of cards and opening packs, we both opened last night ETBs from our locals shop. What did you get, Thad, out of your ETBs?
I got a Psyduck. No, I'm kidding. No, where is it? I just had it out because I'm in the middle of trying to not sell it for sure. Definitely holding on to that card.
I would never sell it. That card is so good and will have such good meta implications down the road.
It'll be good one day, I'm sure.
There's no way that fire is ever good, right?
No, Fire definitely doesn't have a really good card looming.
I can't think of one
in the background.
I can't think
I
of
honestly have no idea what I did with it.
Okay. Well.
Oh, yes, I do. I know what I did with it.
Okay.
I forgot I actually put it in the top loader this time.
That's good.
Oh, God. The light.
Tilt it. Yeah, there it is. Ooh, the SIR Mega Venusaur. Thad, I don't know if you know this or not, but I pulled
the God card.
I pulled the best card in the set, the Gold Mega Lucario EX. We both got 2 ETBs. And I remember your last pack was the Venusaur.
Yeah.
And I opened my first one, got some decent stuff, but nothing crazy. I'm opening the second one. I have 2 packs left, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, this kind of sucks. Like, man, Thad's an asshole. He opened all this good stuff, and then I'm over here like, oh boy, I have my mega camera up. Let's go. And then I open the second to last pack, and I'm just like, I just like sprout the pack really quick in my hand, just like to see like, is there any crazy stuff? And I see the golden ticket, and I'm just like, let's go. And when I pulled the Lucario, I was like, is this the worst of the two? Because you just like assume Gardevoir is worth more than the Lucario. It is the opposite. The Gardevoir is worth like half of what the Lucario is, which I think at the time of our recording is in the $600 range. So it's on eBay now. If anyone wants to buy that, please buy it. I don't want this card. I don't like the gold. I've never liked gold cards. They just feel gaudy to me. And also, like, it's 1,000% more expensive than the min rarity. So I'm just like, I'd rather pay my mortgage this month than play a gold card.
Very fair.
Honestly, that's just like kind of where I'm at with it. No, but it's really cool. It was really, I haven't had like a huge pull like that in a long time. So like, it was really cool to see that.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't had a good pull like that since us and Rivals.
Yeah. I mean, you pulled the SIR Mewtwo, which is like, I think equally as good. Like you sold it for like over 600 at the time. So it's like, yeah, like
sold it for $850.
I forgot if it was 8 or 7 or 8. I'm like, that's insane.
Yep. I posted that shit the second I pulled it, went into a top loader, and I was like, all right, eBay.
Yeah, literally. But I am excited for the Milwaukee Regional Championships coming up next weekend. So definitely next week we'll definitely do a tier list for the format as we kind of start seeing more results, even though like there will be like online limitless tournament stuff, but we'll get to see more, I think more matchup based stuff and see like in general, how is X deck doing versus Y deck, and are the megas really that bad? Breaking news, they are. Fork found in the kitchen.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, like, just real quick, there was a Sunny's Weekly that had 224 players in it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what won?
Gardevoir Jelly?
Gholdengo.
Okay, yeah. I figured it was that, or it was going to be that or Jelly.
The shocking thing was what finished in second place.
Zoroark?
Cerulege.
See, I don't think that's a bad matchup for Dango. I'll be honest. Because you also
it's just funny because they're both still rock decks. They're both like Lunar rock decks, you know. So like it's funny that they both like kind of got to the top.
Yeah.
Holy crap! There was actually 3 Cerulege in top 8.
I think Cerulege is an okay play in like a limitless tournament. I don't think I'd play it to a regional.
I would never play this deck to a regional, but I think it's funny because
I think it's
just
the epitome of a fun deck.
Oh, 100%.
It's not a good deck, it's a fun deck, which is fine. But that is all we have for this week on the PokeStop Podcast. I want to thank everyone for watching as always. We will see y'all next week where we look at all the new stuff for Milwaukee. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Later.